Hello everyone, welcome to our new podcast series, Before the Game. I'm Alicifer, and my new co-host now is Starjun. Hello.
Hi, good to see you again, Ali.
Welcome to see you too.
We're very excited to be online again, and we're all going to be chatting about League of Legends and Oceanic Esports. Today we're joined by two Direwolves players, Chuffer and King. How are you guys going?
Alright, thanks.
I'm good.
Glad to hear it.
It's great to hear. So, guys, as you've noticed, we have changed the podcast a little bit. We're now running half an hour every Thursday from 5:30 till 6 ADSD. We'll be talking about the latest Oceanic Esports events as well as making predictions for OPO. Now, those games will be happening straight after this podcast, so make sure you swap over. If you also have any questions for our guests, we will be asking them at the end of the podcast, so make sure you write them in Twitch chat, and we'll forward those on for you. Now, guys, from Direwolves, you guys are ranked second in OPL. How is that feeling for you?
We've worked pretty hard, and it's good to see that it's paying its dividends.
I reckon I'm alright with it, but I would have been really happy with the first place.
Of course,
yeah.
I wanted to do really well for my first time playing competitively, but second's alright.
Well, I just have to admit, I have been rewatching the VODs in preparation for this, and King, you have become my favorite ADC in OCU. I'm just gonna lay it out there. I've been so impressed with your gameplay, your reaction, your mechanics. Hello, Siva. Can you just only play her, please?
Yeah, I actually have to agree with Ali. I think you're definitely one of the strongest new pickups. So it's good to see a lot of new talent join the OPL this split.
It's I feel like a lot of there's a lot of talent in other roles. I reckon Tallywhacker is really unappreciated. As AD carry player, I reckon he's probably just slightly below Radier, and as good as me, I reckon.
Well, that actually leads to a good question. Which roles do you think have the most talented players in Oceania? Do you think it might be the mid laners or the junglers or AD carries?
Probably mid laners, to be honest. Swiffer, Choo-Choos, and Sharp all really, really good. And Apex is actually really surprisingly really, really strong player.
Yeah. What about you, Chuffo? What do you think? What Oceanic players have really strong roles in our region?
I'd have to agree with mid laners being really good.
Yep.
There are a lot of good mid laners that even OPL, but everyone in OPL is already really strong. Rymeister, Claire, just a few that come to my mind when I think of strong mid laners that aren't actually in OPL right now.
Yeah. Well, how about you tell us the changes that you've had to your roster over the last 2 years for anyone that's new to the Oceanic team?
Well, at the very start, the team was started by Rippy, and I was originally the AD carry. It was me, Sharp, Rippy, Maxilla, and Charlie. And then, I was 16 at the time, so there was an age restriction on playing in the final regionals. So I had to step out of the team, and that's when Chuffer joined.
Oh, that's interesting, yeah. I know there's a lot of players that are concerned with the 16 and 17-year-old age requirements, so it's not surprising that you guys have problems with that as well. How did you guys get recruited on the team then?
Well, I was playing with another team at the time, and this was I don't know, but they realized that Calvin was too young, so they were looking for different AD carries, and I thought they were trying out a guy called Drow and Domo, so I didn't really approach them initially, but then when I realized that everyone was just being trialed, I just got asked by Jish, so I'm like, yeah, I might as well try it. The current team I was with was going to be really good, but I felt like Direwolves had better infrastructure, they had coaches, and the team had a lot of potential, like the players in it. So I went for that.
And I'm guessing you never looked back. Diawas have been doing very well, and especially with the OPL, and congratulations on finally being able to play in the team as well. You're old enough. But you two have made such a powerhouse in the bot lane. It's really impressive to watch. You guys have synergized really well, and you can tell, Chuffer, that you used to ADC because you know how the lane works, you know the matchups, you know how to just be aggressive and when to trade, and it's really impressive. You guys have only thus been defeated by the Chiefs, who have matched your aggression and kind of done a bit more with it. What are your future plans on dealing with that amount of aggression?
Well, I think our first game against Chiefs was just the Chiefs playing really well, and they're not letting us get into our kind of comfort zone, especially with our kind of late game comp.
The TF pick, I think we planned for everything but the TF pick, and just the TF pick single-handedly won them the game, and we had no idea what to do against it.
But the second game, we had an opportunity to kind of pierce Chiefs' play, but we sort of got a bit overexcited near the second tier turret. And what we only needed to do in that game was kind of slow the game down, kind of limit our mistakes, by doing so trying not to get caught, grouping a lot earlier, trying to maintain steady vision control, and try to make fights start on our terms. But ultimately, they just came back and played better than us. But we feel like every time we play Chiefs, we learn a lot more, and we seem to get a lot better. So we'll be working on trying to slowly remove our mistakes for the next time we verse Chiefs, which is hopefully in the playoffs or the wildcards.
Definitely.
The wildcards will be sending you guys to Turkey for anyone that isn't up to date. So that's quite an intense matchup that will be played in then for the finals. So I know every team's really excited to try and make it to Istanbul. So, yeah.
I have a question, just talking about aggression, and that comes into lane camping. What is Perfection saying in TS? Every single time, he's just getting camped. What's going on in those conversations?
Just kind of moans, I guess. He's every few minutes, and there's nothing we can do because me and Calvin in the bot lane, and we don't really control ganks early game. We're silently thinking, hang in there, Perfection.
That's pretty reasonable reaction, I think.
Hecarim game, and that was the one time that his lane should have been camped, but it was Legacy Carbon's just I'm just gonna keep counter jungling and not do anything.
I don't know why any team would ever let Perfection get Hecarim, to be honest. It was actually really weird.
I think he likes being ganked to Hecarim because he can 1v2.
Hecarim's definitely increased in popularity. Dude. Especially people that run him with Ignite TP. It's pretty devastating lane. If he gets to his Phage or his Triforce and he's not behind, he's going to do a lot of damage. So he's pretty popular. I think it's a good kind of Oceanic pick as well, because you can really dominate from the top lane.
Yeah, especially into a Morgana pick. Now, what were you guys thinking when Legacy were coming up with that team comp and you saw the Morgana? Were you okay, that's definitely a support, we're not really going to worry about it, and then he went top lane with Cardred?
I think it was more that they wanted to take the Morgana pick off us, because we have 3 players that can play Morgana.
Yeah.
And I just think they were scared of it, since we can, it's one of our best flex picks, since to go top, mid, or support.
Well, talking about team comps, that actually leads into our next question quite well. Against the Chiefs, you guys played a very similar, kind of protect the Cogmore kind of setup. What were your thoughts after the game from running a strategy like that? Would you default to running a comp like that against them next time and see if it works, or would you try something different?
I like that comp. Calvin can definitely carry in that comp, and it's just how we play that brought us down.
Yeah.
I don't know if we haven't practiced that much.
We should have, I think the problem was, when you're playing that comp, you should never be behind. Like, you should never be in a deficit. You should always be even and let your comp outscale. But we just lost so much early that we shouldn't have even be in a position to, like, come back in the first place. So we just misplayed the early game, in my opinion.
Can we expect to see more Vega support? That little master of evil. Oh god, it was so cute watching him waddle around.
Well, that actually leads into the next part about patch 5.4, seeing as that'll be the new patch that's being played on tonight in the OPL, and the Vega changes is through there. So, what are your initial thoughts on this new patch, Chuffer?
Well, they killed Vega, and I only had one game with Vega. That was really disappointing, but it was really necessary. Vega's really, really strong, for many reasons. Like I kind of said earlier, sports kind of do two things. They kind of like disengage or engage, and Vega's one of the rare champions that can actually do both of them with just one spell.
So, would you say that the changes then are quite justified?
I felt like only his E needed to be changed. Maybe the way they've done it now is appropriate, but they've moved around other spells in his kit as well. They made his Q a skill shot that can hit two targets now, and his ulti's a tiny bit weaker, but everything's kind of cooled down a bit, like a little less cooldown. And I guess none of that really mattered to support Vega because you never really worried about damage anyways. It was really just the event horizon. I haven't really played the new Vega, but I don't think he is anywhere as reliable as the old one.
Speaking of engage and disengage, now with the changes to Zilean as well, do you think we might see something like him being picked up again? I think the slow's up to 99%. I mean, that's a wither.
2.5 seconds.
Decent.
Yeah. I have no idea about Zilean. It's like the new skill shot on his Q. Like, I've versed it like once, and it seems really, really difficult to land it. He just seems like an unreliable champion. Like, I don't think he'll be able to mid, maybe support, but they nerfed the way his ulti and W interact. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really one of the core strengths of Zilean's, that you could just be spamming that W and getting that ulti cooldown really quickly. But I think that, yeah, if you become a master of Zilean, I think he'll definitely still be a viable support.
It's out of 35-ish second cooldown at 40% CDR at all max level, so it's not too bad. With more cooldown reduction, I think the old W would have made it lower cooldown, but yeah, the E is now pretty much CC, like pretty much a stun. Well, not really a stun, a root.
Another champion that was reworked that was one of the most popular picks lately is obviously Kassadin. What are your new impressions of the new Kassadin with the Rift Walk nerf?
He's like, he shouldn't even like be considered a champion anymore, to be honest. Like, he's dead.
Yeah, he's just dead?
Yep.
It's gonna feel like with the Kassadin mains when Flash nerf happened, and then everyone was freaking flashing into walls. Like, it's been like, what, 2 seasons or something, and I'm still flashing into walls. Like, I just imagine being a Kassadin main and just going, I'm gonna rift walk over this wall, and then just headbutt it. Like, it's gonna be really painful for them to kind of adjust to, I guess. I don't know, so maybe we won't see Perfection picking that one up again, but again, he did really good with that pick. I don't know. But just also talking about champion changes, Mordekaiser as well. Have you guys read much about what happened to him?
I think they just like made him a lot more normalized. Like, it doesn't. I don't think they changed anything that important other than just like his skills being like even numbers now. Like, I don't think they changed him. Like, he still has the same problems that he had.
He definitely got some good quality of life buffs as well that he's probably needed for a while. I don't think they'll make him much stronger, but if you're a serious Mordekaiser player, you'll probably be very appreciative of the buffs at least.
I really question the magnet ability on his W. It seems a bit odd to me. I guess that they've tried to change it sort of to interact like a Janna passive now, where it has a captain effect if you were to enchant your boots. I don't know where they're really trying to take him. It's just odd. It was like they mixed Nunu and Janna together to make Mordekaiser. Odd. I don't know. Maybe they might buff him. We might see the older Mordekaiser back again. That'd be kind of cool. So, let's just get back onto OPL. We do have the games coming up shortly. We have Chiefs vs Immunity, and then also, let me just double check. Rich Gang are also being played tonight against Legacy. I think Chiefs have 2 games. Legacy and Rich Gang have 1, and Chiefs vs Legacy. So yeah, do you guys have any predictions that you might want to?
We'll start off with just Chiefs versus Immunity for game 1.
That's a Chiefs win.
I think there's a chance of upset for Immunity. They've beaten Chiefs before. They're one of the teams that can do it.
Ooh, big calls there. So that was one.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to beat it. I'm just saying there's a chance. There's a chance.
Can somebody take down the Chiefs? Yeah. No, it would be cool to have a bit of an upset. What about you, Starjun? What do you think?
Yeah, I can't really see the Chiefs losing at this point. Probably not to Immunity. Immunity is definitely one of the stronger mid-tier teams, but I don't think they will be able to bring something a little bit different out to be able to beat Chiefs in this game. So I think I'll have to give Chiefs the 9-0 in that game at least. The next game though will be Rich Gang versus Immunity. Rich Gang will have Destiny still playing AD carry, and so I think it's pretty tough to not give this one to Immunity. But what's everyone else's opinions on that game, Rich Gang versus Immunity?
I think there's a definite possibility that Rich Gang can beat Immunity. It really depends on how next goes against JKS. Like, if Next gets ahead, I'm pretty sure it can just solo carry the game. Oh, Rich maybe. Yeah, I think that the top lane will definitely be very important for that game. But I think that could be quite a close matchup, really.
I think Rich Gang could take it. I'm pretty confident in Destiny and Fence by bot. I don't think it's as big deficit as most people think.
Yeah.
I might just back Immunity on this one. I feel like they've been such a strong team for so long now, and it's just like they've been playing well, they just haven't been able to kind of finish the games that they've been ahead in.
Just miss the montage videos.
Yeah, who doesn't want to see another Rich Gang hype video?
Yeah.
True. I don't know. I'm hoping Immunity Boys can bring it back. I have high hopes for them, but you guys are all going Rich Gang, so maybe there's something a little bit more than I'm not knowing about. Well,
the third game, though, is definitely going to be the biggest game of the night. Chiefs versus Legacy. Obviously, it's going to be two of the oldest teams, big rivalry there. And I think that this game will really define the rest of the season for Chiefs. If Chiefs manage to beat Legacy and go to 10-0 this week, I think that they'll be quite unstoppable, really. But if Legacy can bring them down this week, then I think the top 3 between your team, obviously Direwolves, will be much more up for grabs. But what do you think? Do you think Legacy will be able to beat Chiefs this round?
I think Legacy. Like, I reckon like odds are more 70-30 in Chiefs' favor. Like Legacy,
70-30. That's quite a lot. That means that do you think Chiefs are twice as likely to win?
Yep. Like Chiefs are really, really good right now. Like I think you can compare like how they are now to what they were last season. Like they seem like such a strong team.
They are not making the same mistakes again. They will not lose.
Like after such a like disappointing like loss for them.
Not even if Carbon plays Udyr?
I don't think nothing from Legacy can help them win if Chiefs play at the top of the game. Like
so
Chiefs
you think that Chiefs are the ones that can win it or lose it for themselves, I guess. That's probably a good point. I wouldn't disagree with that.
If they just play solid, and Swiffer gets fed, the game's practically like won for them.
Yeah. What about you, Chuffer? What are your thoughts?
I think both of them are at the top of us in terms of strategy, so that's why I think it could be a close game. I'm guessing 65 to maybe 35, though. Take back my previous statement. Because I do still think Chiefs are really strong, and I just got reminded how powerful they were when they versed us. So, Legacy could also be really good as well, but they lost the game to Avant recently, I think, so I don't know if they've completely adjusted to their roster.
What do you guys think about the change in Legacy with Kadri going top and Tally going to the ADC role? Do you think that was a good choice?
I think it was... Tally played AD before he played top, and I played with him a lot in solo queue, and he was actually like a really, really strong AD carry, and I respect his mechanics and like his thought process as the AD player. He's like real passive. You could compare him to like Deft, for example. He just plays solid in lane, and I think Kadri top is weaker than Tally top, but Tally AD is a lot stronger than Kadri AD.
Well, in that note, would you prefer to have a really strong top lane or a really strong AD carry? Well, maybe not really strong, but would you prefer your AD carry to be stronger than your top lane, or your top laner to be stronger than your AD carry?
It really depends on how Legacy want to play their game. Like, if they want two strong solos, and that's how they want to play the game around, and have a solid bot, then that's like how they would play. But I don't think they've chosen to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Kadri isn't like a bad pickup for a top lane either. It's not like a complete swap from like really good top laner to mediocre top laner. Kadri he's already picked up the role. He's looking quite formidable.
He's been doing decently, and especially because he did go from the ADC main to the top lane. I mean, it's a fair change in mindset of how you play the lane, so to adapt this quickly and to bring the skill level that he does, it's like kudos to him. He's doing well, and especially when you pick up things like Hecarim and all that, it does make the lane a lot easier for you. I still maybe kind of question the Morgana picks. He wasn't as comfortable on that champion as he would have been with other picks, but again, like you said, they were taking it away from you guys, so I guess that's a positive in their step, but yes. We do also have some questions from the community. I just want to quickly get them out of the way before our segment ends, because our chat has been wonderful enough to ask some good questions, a lot of odd ones. Oh, we're not going there. Do you want to take the first question for me, Starjun?
Yeah, sure. Our first question is from C. Swaglord. It's for Chuffer and King. Why did Rockout decide to sponsor you? Did you have to compete for their support, or did organizations have to compete for you? You want to take that one, Chuffer?
Oh, well, there was like this huge arena with like hundreds of other teams. And we all had to fight for supplies to get our thing, and like ultimately we won that, so we finally got Rockout.
That's impressive. I would love to see that huge battle arena, lots of weapons and everything.
It was kind of just a storm. Everyone just like stayed inside our little camp while I came out and killed every other team. So I owned the sponsor for the team. But like seriously, I think we've been talking to them for quite a while, and we actually had our eyes on them for a long time. I think when we started the team, we actually had them in mind, but we never approached them. Oh, maybe they turned us down when we were a bit smaller, but it's good to finally have something other than UDM mains.
What sort of resources do you get from something like that?
Gear. I think if Rocket ever decides to set up stands at exhibitions, they'll try to invite us to represent them for the Oceanic division. So if Rocket had a stand at EV Expo, maybe me or Shots will go, since me, Shots or Jish will go because we're the ones in Sydney. if there's packs in Melbourne, we have King, Sharp, Rippy, Perfection. A lot of people in Melbourne.
Plus, as well, you obviously get the experience of an organization that's dealt with an LCS team before. So if you have any problems, I guess you can go to them for advice. So that's obviously a huge benefit.
Yep.
I just have a sneaky question I want to put in there. You guys aren't worried about their organization trying to poach one of the Australian players?
That's a good question, actually.
We've seen it happen a couple of times now, and we don't have enough Australian pool talent. Well, I should say OC, because New Zealand as well. It would be a shame to see one of you guys get taken. I'm looking at you,
would you
King.
guys ever consider moving to Europe to play for the European Rocket? If everything lined up?
You don't have to answer that one because we don't want to lose you.
Silence is probably a good answer, actually. Yeah. How about we move on to the next community question, Alicifer? You want to do this one?
No worries. So we got one from Jarvis. Question to Chuffy, Waffy, and to King. Do you think that you are better than Legacy at the moment? What are your thoughts?
I'd say we're like slightly, just a tiny bit above them. Like, just seeing them lose to AV, like, that makes me, like, question, like, their strength a lot. As, like, I think in the OPL that the top 3 teams, us, Chiefs, Legacy, like, I feel like as if we should only be losing to each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like we're the only teams that can take games off each other. But yeah, I think Legacy are really strong, but after losing to AV, I'm like, slightly doubting how strong they are.
It's hard to tell, because one of our greatest assets is that when we need to play good, we really turn it up. And we've shown that in EB Expo and to a certain degree at PAX and throughout the OPL. So scrims results may vary, and it's tough because we never play as good as we do when we're in OPL while scrimming. I think that's because we're usually tired. It's usually at like 7 PM and we don't really, the drive isn't really there sometimes. So it's hard to tell unless we get like a solid maybe best of 5 or best of 3 against Legacy.
Yeah. And we have one more question from Lobo there. Do you want to ask them that one?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should. This one's for Chuffer. Who is the sexiest support in OS other than yourself, of course? Thanks for asking. That was from LOL Brawler, by the way. Hey, Brawler.
I think if I were on like Immunity or like Legacy, that may be me again. Like that version of me. Who else is good?
I guess it doesn't have to be the sexy support. I guess if there's any really sexy players and they play a different role in support, you can weigh in on that
if I
as
was
well.
playing AD carry or mid for another team, me again.
Alright, nice. Nice. Great answer.
Beautiful. Just gonna sneak this last one in and then we're gonna wrap it up, guys, because OPL is gonna start soon. From Not Jews, who has the best haircut in the Direwolves team? Guys,
Rippy.
Yeah, I honestly think it's Rippy. That shaggy little mutt.
Shaggy little mutt. What a fantastic way to describe a haircut.
It's all ruffled from his time in the jungle.
Oh god. Trying to interact with his inner Udia there.
Got a rustic theme.
Yeah. Alright guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Just want to say a big thank you to both of you guys for coming and joining us.
Thanks,
Again,
Lord.
also I just want to thank my co-host Starjun for taking Benson's place. R.I.P. Benson, we miss you.
You're welcome.
But-
We miss you, Benson.
Again, this has been the new segment from the Duoqueue podcast team before the game, guys. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, we'll be here next Thursday from 5:30 till 6 at the same time. And we will be joined by some of the guests from a rich gang. That should be interesting.
Yep.
Make sure you follow our wonderful guests on Twitter. You can see the handles on stream. Also, my co-host Starjun, you can see him on stream as well. And of course, myself, it would be wonderful to have your support, guys. Now, this has been Before the Game. You can watch OPL right after this. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.